Hi guys, it's Mrs. Hivinger here. I'm getting ready to read chapter 22 of Monster Street, The Boy Who Cried Werewolf. Chapter 22, The Patch. It can't be, Max whispered, stopping dead in his tracks. The air vanished from his lungs. His knees wobbled, his blood turned cold. It was Gramps, standing there on the porch, wiping his boots on the doormat and reaching for the door. Gramps is the werewolf? Max realized in terrified disbelief. The old man glanced over his shoulder and looked right where Max was standing. Max crouched down in the grass, hoping Gramps hadn't seen him. After a moment, the old man disappeared in the house. Max remained hidden, completely in shock and unsure what to do next. He looked down at the rifle. He knew that as long as the silver bullet was in the chamber, he could protect himself. I can't shoot my own grandfather, even if he is a werewolf, he decided. He wouldn't try to hurt me, would he? Max considered running as fast as he could to the nearest town to find help, but something in him wanted him to stay, even if it meant risking his life. He wanted answers, all of them. Cautiously, he stood and approached the cabin. A slight breeze swept over him, making him feel as if he had just passed through a ghost. He could now see Gramps through the side of the window of the house, walking from room to room. The old man seemed in a hurry. Maybe he's coming after me, Max thought, then considered something that didn't make any sense. But if Gramps was the werewolf I stabbed last night, then why isn't his eye wounded? Just as Max remembered the second howl he had heard in the forest, footsteps rustled behind him. Sly, methodical footsteps, like a predator sneaking up on its prey. He slowly turned. There, looming above him, was someone he never expected to see. Going somewhere, dear? Grammy asked with a mysterious smile stretched across her face. Max stumbled backward and fumbled the rifle in his hands. He was so terrified that he dropped it. I was just... Max tried to come up with an explanation, but somehow sensed that Grammy knew he was lying. But Max then noticed something that made his skin crawl. A black patch over Grammy's left eye. You were the one I stabbed in the woods last night? Max said, realizing that Grammy's need for bed rest wasn't because of a migraine. Grammy nodded and patted the silver dagger tucked into the belt upon her apron. Don't worry, dear. My eye will heal back to normal in no time. Werewolves don't stay wounded for long, she paused. And I see you recovered your father's red hoodie. Well, it's no use now. The third night of the full moon is here. Max's head spun with questions. Everything in him told him to run, but he was paralyzed with fear. You and Gramps are both werewolves? He asked. Have you always been this way? Grammy stepped forward. There will be plenty of time for explanations, she said. We're just glad you decided to come back to the cabin before the full moon reaches its full peak. Well, why? Max asked, petrified that they might eat him. Grammy leaned down and peered at him with her one good eye. Because you're just in time for your big surprise, she whispered.